Okay, the next item on the agenda is to talk about EMS, and EMS is a calendaring system that ORU is getting ready to implement. Supposed to be implementing it here any day in the next upcoming week. I've never used EMS before. I sent everybody the login and password, so definitely if you guys get a chance, go in there. You guys can look around, run reports. You'll have to filter out probably just the Hammer Center building. Then you can run reports on what events are coming up in the next week or so. But Rochelle's used EMS before, so why don't you just give us a little brief what EMS is all about and maybe how will it benefit us?
EMS is really a scheduling calendar software where if you have multiple buildings, multiple rooms, people can reserve spaces and it's recorded in one place and everybody can look at it. I've gone in and looked at what we're currently using and it's pretty seamless, especially for what we have to do. We can go in, we can look at the dates, and we can do a filter on our building only, and we can kind of see, we can set it up to view on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, just to get a good idea of what's going on, how many people are going to be there for events purposes, not just regular usage, but event purposes, what's actually happening. Excuse me, and I know it helps me just to figure out what's, I don't know, I feel like I'm more prepared when I know what's going on for that week versus day to day. So that's essentially it. It's not hard to use, it's not complex, and we all have the same password and login, so we can't change it. It's all been set up, so if you use the information that Karen sent, you can go in, and it really is self-explanatory. That's the word. Thanks for helping me.
Yeah.
It really is self-explanatory.
Yeah, and so that login and password I sent to all three of you, and then Chelsea as well, just so that if you want to take a look at that, you can. If you have any questions, let me know.
When will that start? When will we start using that?
It is actually, some people are already beginning to use it now, but a lot of people are still using the paper facility recs. I rely a lot still on the paper. That's what I'm used to. But in the next week, they're going to start implementing EMS officially, and then it'll probably take about a 2-month transition of them transitioning out the paper recs and implementing the just straight computer EMS. That's all. For now, it'll kind of be both. We'll be doing a little bit of both. So, the last thing on the protocol improvement section of the agenda is I just want to touch on lunch and break. I've been noticing whenever I approve Kronos that there are times whenever some of the employees are there for 8 to 12 hours and they're not taking a lunch break. And so I really need, for budget reasons and also for just so that we make sure that every employee is taking a break, they need to step away, they need to clock out for at least 30 minutes and take a break, even if they don't really want to. Now, one thing I do want to caution you on is I don't want them to clock out and then say, well, I'll just sit at the front desk and I'll just eat my lunch. And not only do I not like, having food at the front desk and eating meals at the front desk, but because then their temptation is, then somebody checks out equipment, and so then they do that, and then they answer phone. So then they are technically working, and we don't want them working when they're clocked out. That's illegal to not pay somebody while they're working. So we need, if they're working, we need to be paying them. That's why it's easier to just say, step away. They can sit in the building manager office, they can go to the TV, they can go anywhere. At first, whenever we first opened, I was really cautious about don't sit in front of the TV and eat but I think that high profileness, I think now everybody knows, hey, if you're kind of in the TV room, you're not just watching TV on the clock, you're actually, taking a break or whatever. Whenever we first opened, I was a little bit cautious about that, but now that's okay. So
I think I know at least for the evenings, part of the challenge is not knowing where you are on your hours. So if I take a break, I'm not sure if that's going to leave me in the negative, not necessarily me, but staff. Mm-hmm. And so what I've found is people will wait until the end of the week and maybe take a longer break, mm-hmm. just to make sure that they haven't gone under or over, mm-hmm. what their time is supposed to be.
Maybe if you're at the beginning of the week, maybe they can take 20, 30-minute breaks, 30 minutes. I mean, if it's a 15-minute break, they really don't have to clock out. Everyone, if you work, I think it's, we have a really pesky fly, a 7 or 8 hour shift, they're actually allowed a 15-minute break in the morning and then in the afternoon and then a 1 hour lunch. So if they're just taking a 15-minute break, then they don't need to clock out for it. But definitely, maybe at the beginning of the week they could do a shorter, like a 30-minute, and then if they find by Thursday or Friday, towards the end of the week, they need to take an hour or an hour and 15, then you can manage that part. I just want to make sure that people aren't working long periods of time and consistently not taking a dinner or a lunch break. I don't think any of our employees would do this, but HR's concern is that somebody might say they didn't allow me to take a break. And so we have to allow them to take a break.
Okay.
I looked just to make sure, and there's no Oklahoma state law regarding rest and meal breaks. The ORU employee handbook kind of addresses it by just saying that each employee is provided a rest break, I think is how they put it, an unpaid rest break of 30 minutes to an hour. So I think we just need to make sure that we're providing it and we're encouraging it, and they're not going long periods of time and not taking a break, or they're consistently not taking, a break.
Okay.
If it happens every once in a while, then it's not that big of a deal. So, okay, so the next section on the agenda is discussion and brainstorming, which we are going to do a problem-solving method called the nominal group technique. Let me see how we are on time. Okay, so I think we should be able to get this done. So some of you may know, and some may not, that we have been given permission to order more uniform shirts. So right now, basically everyone has a shirt depending upon the number of shirts depending upon how many shifts they work. So a full-time employee got 5 shirts, a weekend employee got 2 shirts, something like that. They all look like this. We all love them. They're comfortable. I think though that you wear them consistently over and over and over again, and they start getting worn. And some of us are looking for a little bit of variety, or at least more to pull from, so we're not wearing the same 5 shirts over and over again. So I'm going to hand this out, and this will just kind of be a step-by-step guide us through the process of our problem, which isn't really a problem, but we're kind of calling it a problem. Here, do you need a pen?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so the first thing is to make sure that we define and analyze a problem. So we need to purchase another uniform shirt for the staff. What kind of shirt should we buy? Some of the guidelines are, I want to stick with black. I think we start going with the lime green. I think we blend in with the front desk. We don't kind of look like we're trying to, where are we at the front desk? I think we go with white, and it's kind of, I don't know that I like white. I think it's going to get dirty.
Too easy.
Yeah, it gets dirty too easy.
Dingy.
So, what?
And dingy.
And dingy, yeah. So a black shirt, the color's going to stay black. It needs to have the Green Hammer logo on the front, which won't be a problem. And I would like it to be either a shirt or a sweater and not a jacket. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take, and we don't even probably need a whole minute, but we're just going to list whatever ideas you have. What would your preference be? Maybe it is a V-neck sweater. Maybe it's exact.
What's this fabric?
This is Dry-Tech. So like a Dry-Tech polo. That's what we have right now. Maybe it's staying with exactly the same thing. Maybe it's a long sleeve. Maybe it's a dress shirt. Whatever. So let's just take a minute and write down our ideas, and then we'll go around and talk about them.
I'm done.
Okay, so of whatever you wrote down, we're just going to go around the room and just tell the group of the ideas that you wrote down, what is your top pick? Which one would you prefer the most? Like if you had to rank them, which one would be number 1? So Greg.
Long sleeve polo.
Okay.
Just the polo.
Just what we have now?
Yeah.
Same, more the same, okay. Rochelle?
A sweater vest.
A sweater vest, okay. My top pick would be a V-neck sweater. But I will say, I will say I don't really want 5 of them. Okay, so I'm wondering if maybe we do a combination of the two,